for other services, including their own, around campus. So there's a problem with that. If you're not posting for your own department, how are you going to get direct communication to the students and employees and faculty, whatever you need? Also, you guys do use email, display signs, and stuff like that. But how many of you get multiple emails a day? Does it get annoying, tiresome, tired of reading them? You just ignore them, right? So that's going to happen with your department. Students are just going to ignore the emails that they get. They're going to ignore all the signs around campus and stuff like that. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Blake for the SWOT analysis.
Okay, as we looked at your strengths and weaknesses as a department, I told you in the beginning that one of the best things is that you utilize face-to-face communication often. And yeah, there's always going to be ways that you can really grow that. But as of right now, where you're at, you're doing pretty good with meeting almost every single day and training a lot and things like that. Another strength, and this is going to kind of be a weakness in a way too, but you know, the efficiency of the radios that you use. They're very quick, they're very easy for those short conversations. But like I said earlier, you know, there is problems in, you know, they're a weaker radio wave, there's more noise in it, it's a lower quality, but it is efficient. And also your strength is, you know, the access you have to emails and signs and things like that when they're used correctly. Some of the weaknesses, like you just said, you know, you don't run your own social media account. You can't post what you want to when you want to. You have to go through certain steps to get auxiliary services to post it for you. That's not good. You need to be able to communicate with them instantly whenever you'd like to. And also the bulletin boards. Bulletin boards are out of date. That's just the way it is. There's so many different things you can utilize to have constant connection to these things rather than a bulletin board. And also your communication with students. There's a lot of people that don't know the bus routes and don't know the differences and things like that. There needs to be more communication there. As we look at the opportunities and threats, these are going to kind of tie into our recommendations, but you know, there's a mobile app for everything nowadays. And as I've known, y'all have tried a mobile app before. It didn't work out so well. I think there can be improvements. Cell phones, you can utilize different things through those. You can also, as far as the bulletin board, do like cloud communication type stuff. But the threats, as we talked about the emails, you know, you have access to those emails, but it's very likely that the students are going to ignore those emails. I know when I get emails, I go through, and if I see it's UWG, I'm probably deleting it before I even open it. So that's a weakness, and they're not. A lot of times, like me myself, I may check social media once a day, so it's not going to be an effective way to communicate with me if I'm not checking social media. And then also the noise and radio communication. And now I will go back to Alex so he can finish up the competition comparison.
Alright, so there's not very much of a competition around campus with the departments, but there are other departments that are pretty comparable, which is auxiliary services, as I stated. They have 13 employees, and they meet once a month or once a semester for a group counseling session. And otherwise, they just use one-on-one, face-to-face communication or through emails. And they also, as I stated earlier, they run 5 different departments' social media accounts through their one. And they use emails, posters, and displays just as you do. But we believe that you should go above and beyond all of your competition around campus with our recommendations in order for you guys to have a healthy work environment and have a good connection with the students. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Alexi for our recommendations.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to get started on the recommendations. As you see on the board, I sorted them into certain topics. The first topic is growth. We really want this department to grow and to develop, because that's where we're at. Our school is developing, it's becoming bigger, we're getting more students, and therefore our parking and our transportation also needs to develop that is more effective and efficient for our students. Part of it is buying more buses, because of the bus routes, there's not enough that make it efficient timing. So with the purchase of more buses, more likely we can get around campus faster. And that also includes with a new bus route. Most students, or when we asked your department where the issues were with parking. They said that most students are not parking in the other parking spots around campus. They're parking the ones that are close to campus. And that's because we don't have efficient bus routes to get from, let's say, the Coliseum, which has a lot of parking, to the TLC where most classes are taken. So we would like to recommend to create a bus route that's from the Coliseum to the TLC in order to get students back and forth without having to take the whole path around the campus. And with that, we also would like to create the creation of a new bus app. We currently have a bus app or an app for West Georgia, but that is just for all of West Georgia, a map of the school, a map of just different locations on campus. And there is a bus route on it currently, but nobody knows about it. We want to create a bus app that's just special for West Georgia that can maybe give you a map and a GPS location, like specific location of where the bus is, so you can say, oh, that one's too far away, I better just walk to campus. It gives you efficient timing and tells you where to go. Another thing is we talked about is your department does not control its own social media. So creating your own websites, being in control of your own Twitter and Facebook accounts, that will allow you to post when you need to and more efficiently. And another thing would be a giveaway. How many of you like t-shirts? Raise your hand. Okay, so you like free t-shirts? Yeah? Okay. I love free t-shirts. So that's what we're going to do. When you come to our table, you're going to see our table on campus. You're going to walk up to it and you're going to download the app right in front of us and you're going to show it to us, and then you get a free t-shirt. How easy is that? Simple, right? Most students will want to do that. And on these t-shirts, there's going to be information about the bus and transportation services. So that's advertising, and you get people to download your app, which will be used. And then another thing would be an organizational fair. There's one every semester, I believe, or one at the beginning of the semester, and in the Grassy Triangle, the Parking and Transportation Services has not participated in this organizational fair before. If they did this t-shirt giveaway at the fair, more people would know about the department and would more likely use this app. And another thing is the external communications. Using signs and emails and using the radio, because the radio is played on campus all the time walking from class. If they would do advertisements for the department, the name would get out more and people would know more about your department. Is inside your organization for internal communication, we talked about how bulletin boards are way out of date and there's a better way to be doing it. Google has so many tools that is efficient for a company, like Google Docs, Google Calendars, all sorts of things. So if somebody needs to know a date right then, they can go on Google and look it up, and then it's more efficient that way than having to go into an office building and look at a bulletin board. And then one last thing is mass text. Mass texts are so annoying, but they are efficient. If you have that red dot that's in the messages in the corner of your messages on your phone, you're going to look at it. So it's going to tell you, oh, there's an important update or an important meeting I need to go to. You're more likely to go if you haven't seen it on your phone rather than just getting a mass email. That's where we think that improvements can be made in this department. One last thing, preview day and orientation are prime opportunities to use to get the name of this department out there. Just because parents, they're going to want to be involved in every aspect of their child's life at West Georgia. So telling them about the transportation and parking and all of that, all of the things that have to go with this department, they'll talk to their kids about it. So that's just one other way to advertise this department. Well, our department, we just want to say thank you on behalf of Elite Lanes for having us come in and giving us the honor to even have the chance of working with you guys. And we want you.
We have a takeaway for y'all. You better enjoy it because I worked hard on it. So when you think of Elite Lanes, you hear the word lanes, you think of cars. Well, Well, we want you to remember that we're going to be moving your business forward. So we've got our business card in the shape of a key, which is why it took so long, because I had to cut all those out. But we have our business card with all of our information and the fact that we will move your business forward attached to some yummy Skittles. And if you're allergic to peanuts, don't get the peanuts or the M&Ms. I wanted to do Skittles, I couldn't find them. Don't eat the peanut ones if you're allergic to peanuts. Or the peanut butter, because we got peanut butter, peanuts, and regular chocolate. At this point, does anybody have questions?
Well, I'll take
Well, it depends. If you're doing the things like t-shirts, or maybe a boot, that's going to take, the t-shirts will take some time, maybe a week or two, depending on what kind of graphics you use to create. But to actually get on the way, you can go out and probably give away 100 t-shirts in a couple hours on campus for the booth. The mobile app will take more time because you'll have to actually have somebody to design that, which we can help you out as a company. But altogether, you know, most of our suggestions are long lasting. They're not just temporary short things. So they'll be out there for a while, so you can spend some time doing them, but then they will actually, you know, be utilized for a good while.
Why would working with your consulting company be a smart choice and or investment?
Well, our department has 14 years of experience. We started in 2000, so we have 14 years of experience. And like you saw, we worked with so many different companies before we even joined Elite Lanes that we have experience with those types of companies. But then also, as Elite Lanes, we've worked with Delta, MARTA, the Georgia Aquarium, and different places like that that have, let's say, parking decks. And the Braves, they have so many different transportations, like the buses and the different parking lots, that we are experienced with what the needs of this college has. So we are able to fulfill them with our past experience.
Why do you believe the recommendation of ads specifically for this department would increase the student-member relations when most students know about the department as far as getting their parking tag or riding the bus?
Because they would understand, like, with the ads, they'll know to, okay, you see it, all right, I'll read it, and then, like, they want to know more about, like, where to go, like, to get better parking, and that's more convenient for them to get to class, and, like, which way the buses go, then they'll be able to, they'll know more, they'll be more pushed to go to the departments.
And the ads would help the mobile app get out there.
Yeah.
Why should we trust your recommendation to improve our department organization now and into the future?
I can answer that one. With these recommendations, we're trying to bring awareness to West Georgia about this particular department. If the campus, the parking is almost non-existent. We do have parking, but the park is in areas that no one goes to. Like, we have freshmen who are having parking issues by parking in the Coliseum because they can't park where they need to park at, and then every week they have to go move their cars because of games and other things. So if we can alleviate this stuff, we can separate the congestion. We've also did further research. We have a report that we have for y'all as well. And we've actually sat there and looked at times how we can, there are certain times on the campus when the traffic is just congested. So if we pay more attention to that, we can keep the airways clear, you know, get people more around here. And then it's a parking lot. Once you build it, it's going to be here long lasting. So unless you put something there. So why not keep up with it and have it better for the university than just let it sit there and rest all day?
What risks are involved in the user recommendation?
I mean, there's concerns about employees not having proper training to use the mobile apps when they communicate with each other. And there's also students not catching on to the app, so they don't use it, so there would be a risk there.
There's another risk is that we could spend all this money and all these services and students still don't use it, so. Go ahead.
How much time will it take for the recommendations to go into effect?
I don't think it'll take much time for the t-shirts per se, but it will take a lot more time with the bus app because it's technology, and technology is a lot of times more difficult than doing other things. So I think the bus app will take a little more time to integrate into the system of University of West Georgia.
Also, the purchasing of the new buses, that would take a while because you have to have a consultant find the bus, get the bus, and then